It's game day in the Rose City. The Portland Thorns hosting Houston in NWSL action. The Thorns looking to extend their unbeaten streak against the visiting Dash here at Providence Park. Good evening, everybody. Ant Shot's joined by my broadcast partner. That's Janine Sparra, former U.S. national team member and also the associate head coach of the Portland Thorns Academy Club. All right, let's talk about this Portland Thorns bunch. Obviously, coming off the loss in Boston last week, Paul Riley saying the midfield has got to get back into shape, back into form.
They do. Allie Long was playing a little bit high. With the introduction of Io into the lineup, she found that she was playing a little bit outside. Okay. So Allie kind of stepped, I think, into her position to try to help out. But that really kind of discombobulated the midfield.
Okay.
So now that Paul has shifted them, he's allowed her to stay a little bit wider, Io stay a little bit wider. So now Allie is going to hopefully feel a little bit more comfortable staying where she is.
Paul will tell you that the back line for this Portland Thorns bunch is banged up. No Rachel Van Hallebeck. And in fact, Menges and Nemec banged up. They'll go tonight. Menges will start. But this is a wounded bunch back there.
They're a little wounded, but they've gelled really well together. They're very tight, and we've heard from players and from Paul how well they get along. And when that happens with a team, you see them come together even more, and they fight even harder for each other.
You mentioned Io. She makes her debut last week on the road. Her Portland Thorns home debut tonight. What will the fans see?
Well, the nice thing about the international from Equatorial Guinea is that she brings that, I always say spice, but that interesting kind of different type of texture to the game.
Okay.
She's going to be quick, she's going to be creative, she's going to do things that you're not used to seeing, which is really nice because usually in the States, it's all about speed, power, goes forward, straight ahead.
This Houston club will feature Jess McDonald. We know what she did for the Thorns last year. Thorns traded her. Maybe she's looking for a little payback.
I think so. She was the leading scorer when she was traded, and she was traded away in January. So in order to come back for her, now she's been able to prove her point and showed what she really can do.
She had the 11 goals last year, 3 so far, so she's a target once again.
She is. She's doing a great job for them, and her and Ojai are such powerful threats up top that they're really a pair to be reckoned with.
All right, so we are just moments away from the start of the match. National anthem ready to go, which means we'll take a quick break. Be back at Providence Park with lineups and kickoff in just a moment.
I'm Liam Ridgewell.
And I'm Allie Long.
And we invite you to join us Portland Timbers and the Thorns to our 4th annual Stand Together week. It runs the 8th of June to the 14th.
You'll have the opportunity to volunteer alongside me and my teammates, all while giving back to our community.
And with over 35 service projects planned, there's something for everyone.
Sign up at timbers.com/standtogetherweek to save your spot.
Together we can give, unite, and inspire.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
"Eres un has abocado, mijo. Eres especial."
Dad was right. I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made with Hass avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
You have no idea how your health rolls out in waves of good. Providence.
Welcome back to Providence Park. We're just a few minutes away from the start of the Thorns Dash soccer match. Paul Riley's starting 11 looks like this for the hometown Thorns. Michelle Betos will start in goal. The banged-up defense will see Kat Williamson joined by Emily Menges and reserve Alyssa Kleiner. Sinead Farley, McCall Zerboni will anchor the midfield as per usual. Allie Long, Mana Shim playing a little higher in the mid. Kendall Johnson, reserve Sarah Jackson, and Io will be up top. Io making her Thorns home debut. Now let's take a look at Houston's starting 11. Randy Waldrum will start Bianca Henninger between the pipes. She's a good one. Dash will go with 4 defenders led by Nikki Cross, who will play every minute of every match. Tony Presley, nice addition for the Dash. Midfield, great to see Brittany Bach recovered back on the pitch. Former Oregon State standout Rachel Axon is earning rave reviews from Randy Waldrum. And former Portland Thorns Jess McDonald, we just talked about her, returns to Providence Park. She and Kalia Ohai are so dangerous up top. The Thorns will be playing in front of another crazy home crowd, 13 or 14,000 on this Saturday night. You'd expect nothing less, Janine.
It's a great night for soccer. It's perfect for the players. The people are here, they're ready to go and just basically show what they've got.
Paul talked about how critical it is these first 10 minutes. Some of the reserves getting huge action. The banged-up defense will have to establish itself. And let's see if Io can get on track in the first 10.
Yeah, they're trying to come out with a little bit more up top, a little bit more pressing. They've had a couple games where they got scored on early, which threw them out of their rhythm, which didn't allow them to really, or they didn't let themselves think about what they really wanted to do. So the emphasis this week has been on trying to layer the game and hit all the things that they've talked about in the practices and in the theory of what they're trying to do.
So we're just a few seconds away from kickoff. A beautiful night here in the Rose City. Low 60s, mild winds out of the north-northwest. The Thorns will be in their home kits with red shirts, shorts, and socks. Houston road kits, white shirts, white shorts, and light blue socks. Michelle Betos trying to get the Riveters fired up. That shouldn't be a problem. Portland at 2-1-2. The Houston Dash at 1-2-2, and we are underway. The Portland Thorns and Houston Dash presented by Powerade.
Well, Houston comes out in the attack. They lined up Ohai and McDonald out on the left side and then hit the ball direct from kickoff right out to them, streaking down the sideline.
Whistle goes up early. You saw that first burst of Ohai, who may not be a foot race winner, but she's got a great first step and is very, very clever, wearing number 7 for Houston.
She does. You shouldn't underestimate her. She's had great experience in our national teams, our youth national teams. She's a quality player.
Throw in, there's Io wearing number 8, heads it down to herself. Masser and Io will be one of those matchups that Paul Riley is even looking forward to seeing.
He was looking at the lineup and he thought that Io would be most successful out on that side against Masser.
Masser playing defense for the first time, normally a forward, but so flexible and versatile is Ella. Wearing that big cast on her left hand, and here's the first corner. Into the 18. Boy, Farley got a head on it, and Portland still controls. Nice footwork by Johnson. There's Mana into space. Allie wasn't reading it. A little bit of miscommunication there.
It was just a little too far ahead of Allie. Mana tried to slip her in behind or slotted in behind the defenders, and she ran out of field.
So 2 reserves for the Houston Thorns getting the starting nods tonight. Number 20, Sarah Jackson, and number 30, Alyssa Kleiner. Sarah at the forward spot, Kleiner playing defense, both out of Santa Clara, I believe.
Come from a quality program,
Boy.
so you know they're going to know the game. You know they're going to be able to add something to what the Thorns have.
Early foul called against the Thorns. Santa Clara, how about Huerta? Just tearing up the league. Another Santa Clara, and the rookie is just the talk of the league so far.
That program has been so strong for so long. It's not a surprise that they're turning out professional players.
Into the box and dangerous there.
That wasn't too tough a ball for Betos to handle.
Sometimes coming off the heads on the redirect make me a little nervous on the flick headers, but Michelle was right there.
It was nice. They served it in a little bit high enough in the box that it wasn't too close to that she didn't have to move too fast to get to it.
Privet leaves it for McDonald. He'll try and build something out of the midfield. Nice hustle save there by Ojai. Masser switching fields. We're scoreless in the 4th minute here at Providence Park. McDonald, this is where she can be dangerous if she can turn that corner.
That's a good bit of defending. Paul talked about, as you said, about turning that corner and how dangerous she could be. So she wasn't allowed to. Kat just stepped in and closed her down. So it was really nice defensive play.
First corner kick for Houston. Henderson looks like she wants to take it on that far corner. Betos just plucking it out of the air. Jessica McDonald was in the neck of the woods, wanting to get ahead on it, but Betos just went up and took that thing.
It was really nicely handled. She's not having any problem. She looks completely comfortable in goal. She's ready. Paul said she's settled in. This is her spot now. Unger is gone to the World Cup, and she hasn't skipped a beat in practice.
It's expected that Unger will officially be named to the German national team when it is announced tomorrow. But it's a foregone conclusion that she will be a member of that powerful German team. Both of these clubs missing a lot of key personnel with call-ups. Back tap, and the whistle goes up. So there's going to be some scoreboard watching for Thorns fans tonight. Earlier this evening, the Western New York Flash upset Washington by the score of 3-2. Chicago and FC Kansas City were delayed for a long time because of weather. They're scoreless midway through that first half. But how about the Flash beating Washington tonight, huh?
That's quite a game, a 3-2 game. I would have liked to have seen that one.
So a victory for Portland launches them over Washington in terms of points, as Zerboni goes down hard.
Yeah, and depending on how that second game goes with Chicago, they could either be tied or go into first.
That's the match of the week, with the Red Stars leading everybody, taking on FC Kansas City that's starting to hit the stride. Another chip inside the 18. Really nice job by Farley to get ahead on that and just kind of get it out of trouble. It was that kind of scenario in Boston in stoppage time where the scoreless tie went to Boston's favor with that kind of a ball that was able to get past Betos.
A little bit of an off ball, and it just kind of was a difficult one to deal with.
McDonald known for some long throw-ins. And Houston very content to keep the ball right where they have it. And another corner kick for the Dash. A very tall McDonald is trying to dwarf Betos.
She had a nice glove on that one.
Play on.
Got to help the linesman out a little bit. I don't think he saw that ball was out from his angle.
Beautiful ball by Bach. There's Betos. And again, Jess McDonald is breathing down her neck. And Betos made a nice save.
That was a little bit of a dangerous ball. McDonald had a little bit of height on Williamson, and she just couldn't get enough on it to be dangerous, and Betos was there easily.
McDonald comes at you in the tail of the tape at 6 feet. One of the tallest players out on the pitch. And boy, on those set pieces, it's really interesting to watch her literally get the 2 or 3 inches on Betos and just camp in the crease.
She does. She knows her strengths, and she knows that she's got that height advantage. And so even with Williamson was right there on her, it's not that she was alone in the box, but she's got that advantage, definitely.
Houston loves to get their offense going via the counter. Wanted to there, but the errant pass allows Portland to collect. The Thorns yet to get into any kind of offensive rhythm.
Not so much. They've had a couple nice passing combinations, but haven't really gotten them consistently as they would want.
Mangus breaks up that attempt. Hey folks, fill up with 8 gallons or more at participating 76 stations to receive a voucher for 2 free general admission Thorns tickets. That's great. Visit timbers.com/76 for more details. Foot race here. Cross wins that one. Nikki Cross has played every second and every minute of every match. A great acquisition for this Houston club.
They've gotten a couple players recently. One of them's here. She has not in the starting lineup. We'll see if she makes her debut. Ellie Brush for Houston.
Just missed making the Australian national team, Ellie Brush, and played with the injured Stephanie Oakes for Canberra United. So Oakes was really singing the praises of Ellie Brush, and that's a great addition for Houston when she gets comfortable. And the other player, the Brazilian Camilla.
Yeah, they're both backs, and they're a little bit low in backs with at Houston. So they're just waiting for them to come in and settle in, and I think they're able to move some players around a little bit and play more in their natural positions. Like you said, Master isn't really a back by trade.
Yeah, I mean, Oakes gone to the torn ACL, suffered against Boston on April 26th.
Season ending.
Yes.
Season ending injury.
You know, its surgery went really well, and obviously we're hoping that she's back next year, but then some of the defenders that are gone with their national teams, this has left Houston thin at defense, hence Camilla and Brush being signed.
Yeah, and they're a little heavy on midfielders too, so really trying to sign those couple of players to solidify the backs and then allow those players to play other places.
Scoreless here in the 10th minute. Look at Henderson chasing. Dangerous right there. Boy, and Allie getting a foot on it. Who knows what could have happened there. Again, this is a gritty Houston club that's really putting the pressure on Portland's back line.
True, but you can see that the Thorns are really fighting for each other. Sometimes if you're not as tight a team, you're not willing to take that extra stretch. But Allie Long really, she took care of that ball that could have basically put them under a little bit more pressure.
Last year, the expansion dash faced Portland 3 times and lost by the same 1-0 score all 3 matches. So Houston has yet to score against Portland, has yet to defeat Portland. This is the first time they're meeting this season.
I'm never knowing if those statistics are a good thing or a bad thing, waiting for that one kind of change. So hopefully they'll take it as a source of pride, and the Thorns will come out trying to keep that stat consistent.
Well, both of these teams so different when they're at full capacity, obviously.
It is kind of a high-tempo game, though. I mean, they've both come out ready to play. They're both pressing a little bit. Thorns haven't quite hit the rhythm that I think they'd want to hit. But Houston's attacking. The Thorns are trying to find it. It's a well-paced game for the beginning.
Nice job by Io to disrupt play there and take it from Ojai. Allie, beautiful ball to Io, who wants to get inside the box. Masser. Long. Disrupted, but there you saw how clever Io can be. Allie into space, almost squeezed that shot off.
Interesting that they didn't play Io a little bit earlier in the ball, but I think there's a little too much space in front of her, and she's not known for her speed. So I think they held on to it a little bit, allowed her to get a little bit higher up the field, then play her in.
The counter, here comes McDonald. Guarded by Cat. McDonald inside the 18 with the left foot. Beautiful job by Kleiner to come and help and get a body on that shot.
Yeah, they had the numbers up. Defense was fine. They had a 3 versus 4 with Henderson coming up a little bit and crossing in underneath McDonald. And then McDonald just chose to shoot, even though she didn't have the space to do it.
Just a great play by Zerboni to jumpstart the offense. Long into Io. Masser knocks it off Io. Crowd doesn't like that call. Io played those 68 minutes in the loss to Boston last week. But a full week of practice under her belt probably will reveal a fresher player tonight.
Yeah, she's just going to get more and more comfortable with her teammates, and they'll know where she is, know where to find her, what kind of ball she'd like to be served or played into.
Zerboni finding Allie. Tried to back tap that, and here comes Houston. Again, a club that makes a living on the counter. Portland's defense doing a nice job of getting in shape and in position. Foot race here. Menges, who went down hard in that Boston game. So glad that she's in the lineup and able to take that ball from Ojai. Nicely done.
Portland Thorns shifted really well on that. You could see Ojai standing in that space in the 3-back. There's plenty of space on the outside, but they did a really good job when the ball shifted. They came with it.
Ojai with the 2 goals and 1 assist. McDonald with the 3 goals to lead this Houston club. Io does a nice job of finding Long, keeping the head up, and here's Mana Shim.
That's the connection that the Thorns were looking for, so it's a good bit of rhythm from them.
Beautiful ball. There's the dummy run.
Kendall Johnson gets up that sideline really well, and that's the type of ball that she's known for, just getting in dangerous places.
Masser with the tackle to knock it out of bounds. That was a beautiful ball by Jackson, wasn't it?
It was. Just a little bit, maybe she was a little bit ahead in her run of the play that she couldn't quite get something on it.
Johnson, excuse me, yeah.
But that was a great play again. I think they're starting to find their rhythm a little bit up top.
Paul was saying what a good week of practice Kendall Johnson had, feeling a little more comfortable each and every practice session and match.
I think you see it every game.
I do too.
She's known for her crosses. She's known to come out of the, she was essentially a back before. She's a little higher up the field now, but she's known for that. And I think every time you see her, her serves get better and better.
So Shim will control. Long giving chase. Foul goes against Allie Long. She and Nikki Cross getting tangled.
It might have been a little bit of a soft foul, but it was nice. You see the Thorns pressing in the box. They had 3 players around the top of the 6. Creating a really nice, dangerous situation. They couldn't quite get it back to the front. Unfortunately, Allie couldn't turn and was called for the foul.
Long has been extremely active. One of the real war horses in terms of minutes, games played and started as the foul goes against Houston has been Allie Long.
Zerboni took a really hard hit on that one.
Slow to get up as Jess McDonald helps her to her feet.
She got plowed a little bit.
Headed away by Masser, who has been everywhere. There she is again. Io trying to deflect. And the foul will go against Ojai this time. And look at Io and Masser. Looks like Io wanted a quick restart. Instead, Farley will stand over the ball.
Masser's standing her ground. She's doing a good, solid job on Io.
Yeah, Paul was right. Heck of a matchup.
Yeah.
Here's Mana Shim. Dangerous here. And the Thorns fans are loving this chance. Let's see who dives towards the box. Mana with the little chip inside the 18. Io, interesting. That ball deflected, and Henninger goes out and gets it.
Yeah, and deflected with a little bit of spin on it.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see if Io was going to be able to get anything out of that bounce.
18th minute at Providence Park. Scoreless between the Thorns and Houston Dash. Smart play by Long, and here's Shim. Ojai is giving chase. Long nearing the 18. Jackson trying to find somebody. Good D by Houston.
It would be nice to see Io cut in a little bit on the play. She was so far out wide, and she's not going to do very much out there that close. So it'd be nice to see her do a little bit of a slashing run to kind of help Jackson and relieve some of the pressure of the backs collapsing in on her.
Low 60s, just the slightest of breezes. A perfect night on the pitch for the players especially. Mangus working, and look at it, Ojai. She and McDonald have found a home together. Here's Jess. Ojai will pull the trigger with that left. Miscommunication there as Henderson didn't quite read it.
That was a great turn by Ojai. And that's what Paul talked about. You know, both those two players up top for Houston being able to be faced up, turning, getting around the corner, and then being very dangerous. And that's the thing that Mangus is going to have to watch.
Ojai just had a spectacular second half of the 2014 season. That's why Houston is so high on her. Henninger coming out.
Yeah, Paul kind of talked about the mobility of the back line of the Houston Dash, and you can kind of see Nikki Cross having a little bit of problems with that ball. It was if that ball had been weighted just a little bit harder over the top, I think, you know, she would have been turned and then been in a really difficult situation.
Folks, Alaska Airlines flyers can now enjoy free entertainment to their own device. Learn more at alaskaair.com/beyond. Both clubs doing a nice job of pressuring opponents' back lines and really seeing if maybe there's a mistake to be made or a weak pass to be intercepted.
Yeah, Paul thought that these teams were going to go at each other a little bit, and I really think you can see it out there on the field. There's no backing off. You know, Zerboni got plowed a little bit. They're going at each other. There's a little bit of contact. They're not just sitting back and watching the game. They're trying to go at it and make it develop.
The Thorns come into today's match unbeaten in their last 8 matches at Providence Park. 6-0-2. That goes back to the 2014 season. So obviously home cooking has been good. Kansas City, Chicago still scoreless. They're late in that first half. That game delayed because of weather. Oh, Chicago taking the 1-0 lead now. Whoa! The big one hop as all the Houston defenders were retreating, but nobody cleared it, and Henninger had to dive for that thing.
Yeah, she is a quality keeper. I mean, she can get off the ground. She covers the box really well. Got a great kick out of the back. She's definitely a good product the United States has put out.
I think she's absolutely fantastic. Houston acquiring her from Kansas City in a trade, and she backs up McLeod, who's with her Canadian national team. She's a quality keeper, much like Betos.
Similar situation. Yeah, we have really quality keepers playing behind, great international keepers.
Right.
So that's such great experience for him, and again for the player. And again, it's so important why this league is happening, because you can see these players develop, and they're developing because they have the chance to play.
Henninger, another one of those Santa Clara Bronco products. Jerry Smith must be loving watching this league with all his graduates
Shout out to the Broncos there. But they're also products of the U.S. youth system too. I mean, they've done a great job of developing those players, and these players have been in U20 World Cups, U15 World Cup, or U17 World Cups. They're not just kind of fresh out of college and done nothing else, but they've had a good career so far, and it's a deep career.
Monashim, of course, another Santa Clara product. Ooh, look lucky there. Nice job disrupting. Masser has just been everywhere. Turnover, and here comes Shim. Beautiful ball to Io. She can collect. Cross! What a save by Henninger!
That's such a great ball by Jackson to get a foot on that.
Jackson was in a great position. And again, Henninger coming up with another brilliant save.
She's so quick. She's got great positioning. She's got great hands. So she allowed herself to, and those are 2 quality chances that the Thorns had. Any other keeper probably could have been a goal in at least one of those.
Jackson and Johnson putting balls right on frame and not at Henninger, who had to really stand her ground to deny the Thorns the game's opening goal. Man, Henniger, she's fun to watch.
They're going to have to work a little hard for this one, but I think it might just get them going.
That ball left up for Long. Here's Adley with the left foot right at Henniger. Oh, no one there for the rebound. Bianca is earning her keep.
She is.
Nice left foot from Allie.
She is so quick. Henniger is so quick. Again, great positioning, gets behind the ball, makes a very good shot look okay. But the Thorns are shooting well. They've had good chances. But Henniger is she's denying him so far with that great positioning and great quickness that she has.
Ojai and Menges. Oh, what a pass and what a finish by Jess McDonald. Ojai drills the cross and puts on a little dance for Jess McDonald, who scores in the 24th minute.
That's the perfect ball into that near post run for McDonald, where it just didn't give Betos any chance to do anything with it. She's inside the 6 and happens so quickly that she gets a little bit caught on her heels, but again, does not have enough time and space to really react.
McDonald's 4th goal of the season and Ojai's 2nd assist. What a service by Ojai.
That driven ball near post is really dangerous for those reasons, that it happens so fast. The defense and the goalkeeper have a hard time changing to it or making the adjustments.
So let's see how the Thorns respond. They fell behind early against Washington here at Providence Park and rallied for the 2-2 tie. They're down 1-0 here. Houston's first goal ever against the Portland Thorns. And it was a dandy. You got to tip your cap there.
You've got two great players in Ojai and McDonald teaming up together. I mean, those are two hard people to stop. Really quality players.
So Henniger does her job to keep Portland off the board. And then moments later, it's Ojai and McDonald combining as Jess's header finds the back of the net, and it's 1-0 Houston.
That transition is hard. You get denied a couple times. The ball comes down really quickly to the other end. Kleiner got a little bit behind the player, maybe just a little bit turned. McDonald slips in, finds that tiniest bit of space, and quickly just gets ahead on it.
And you scout Houston, and you know that Jess loves to make those kinds of runs.
Yeah, and again, Paul Riley talked about how good she is with her head, so anything inside the box and the services has to be covered.
The Thorns looking for the equalizer, give it up there. So McDonald's goal in the 24th minute gives Houston the 1-0 lead. I'm sure the Riveters are going to give Ojai all kinds of grief for the little dance that she put on after that, but boy, that assist was something to celebrate.
It was worth the dance, that's for sure. If you're going to do something like that, you got to dance.
I got no problem with that. Long ball headed away. Look at Io trying to intercept, but there's Masser again. Shim skips it.
It's a nice early ball from Kendall Johnson.
Masser just shoves it out of bounds to let her Houston group get organized defensively. The throw in for Menges and the Thorns. Zerboni tag teamed immediately, and McDonald is able to come up with it.
It's going to be interesting to see if Paul keeps this formation. I know that they really like it. He said that they really like to play the 3-back. They're just having maybe a little bit of problems with not those wing-backs and not tucking in quite as much, because Houston is in a 4-3-3.
Here's Shim. Zerboni leaves it, and again wide on that outside. Should have been a foul called there. Io!
Whoa! That was interesting with the referee that close, that you can see the outstretched arms grabbing onto her. He doesn't make a call on it.
Nearing the 29th minute. Houston leading Portland 1-0 on Jess McDonald's goal in the 24th minute on a beautiful assist from Ojai. Henninger and Masser have been the defensive geniuses for Houston so far. And then Jess McDonald up to her old tricks with her 4th goal of the season. And I believe that puts her tied atop the league standings in terms of goals scored.
That's a really great pair up top. I mean, you can't really say enough about them. I mean, they have such potential, and they're such quality that they're going to cause problems for anybody.
Here's Ojai again, dancing past Menges. Ojai leaving it. Here's Henderson, cutting back. Play stop there. Timing not right. It's not exactly right for Houston.
Ojai made a really nice run, just kind of split the defenders straight up. She just went at him, got through, laid the ball off. Henderson just got called for the offsides.
Beautiful ball. Here's Ayo attracting the defense. Little shoulder there with Nikki Cross. And a beautiful ball into Ayo, into space. Corner kick for the Thorns. See if it's a short corner, as Long and Shim are interacting.
A little dangerous near post ball from Mana Shim.
Long controls. Actually, Portland did a nice job to keep that thing from going out of bounds, but they'll retreat with Menges getting things started. Ayo handball.
Interesting. Cat Williams staying way up there in that play. And they're looking for that ball.
You're reading my mind.
She looked hungry, too. She was like, hey, I'm up here. Give it to me.
Cat wearing the captain's armband. She's got the 1 assist to her credit in terms of points scored. Dangerous here as McDonald traps and tries to find Ojai. Jackson does a nice job of getting it out of trouble.
It's a great ball from Allie Long.
Boy, it really is. Here's Jackson.
That's unfortunate. She took a great touch to eliminate the defender, the player that was on her pressing her, and then had enough space to serve that ball in over the top. I guess they just thought that maybe Jackson was a little too high past the defenders on that one.
Maybe. 32nd minute.
We always argue that call, don't you?
Somebody always does. You can. That's guaranteed.
What do you mean I'm offsides?
Here's Henninger. Sends it deep to Henderson. And it'll be Houston's throw-in. LaPont doing a great job in the reserve role for this Houston bunch. And I'm going to make you guess where LaPont went to school. Santa Clara. Yep.
No, it couldn't be.
I'm telling you, this is just goofy. It's just a Bronco love fest down on the pitch tonight.
I think that's a shout out to the West Coast soccer.
All right, we got a halftime score. Chicago leading Kansas City 1-0. That game delayed for a long, long time because of the bad weather in the Midwest. We told you about Washington's loss to Western New York. The Thorns would love to take advantage and pick up 3 points tonight, but they are trailing to a confident, aggressive, plucky Houston club. Kendall Johnson has been very active and has had to be.
She has. She's gotten up the line. She's been in a great position and gotten off some great service from the outside.
So call going against Houston again. I'm having a hard time seeing who's down on the turf. It might be Brittany Bach. if that's number 11. Yes, it is. The veteran. It's been a long time since we've seen her on the pitch. That match against Chicago recently, first game in over a year for Brittany Bach.
Yeah, she ended up having ACL surgery, and they had to go in again and do a little bit more. So it kind of extended her recovery time more than the normal 12 months they had. She was off a little bit longer than that.
Just injuries have been such a part of Bach's story. Graduated from Notre Dame, as did Henderson. They both played for Randy Waldrum. Randy's kept a spot open for Bach, knowing what she could do, but she has had a tough go with injuries.
And she's moved back into the dash lineup and doing a great job.
She started and played mostly that first half in her return. She looks good tonight. Here's Ojai again. She's so clever. She's got a little room to move and will still control. Good Thorns defense. Let's see if the counter can produce something. Ayo trying to turn the corner. Masser staying with her. Nice tackle by Masser. Play on.
Yeah, I think that Ayo needed a little bit more support around the ball in that. She was kind of isolated, people running away from her, and she wants to be a little creative and get the ball, and I think combine with people more so than just run at them.
Just a great job by Menges to basically take that ball away from Ojai as her teammate was right there. Nice job by Menges.
Definitely some great matchups in this game, and that's one of them. We keep talking about the Ayo and Masser matchup on the other end, but this one for the Thorns against Ojai, it's a good quality matchup between two players.
McDonald definitely got shoved from behind, no doubt about it. So the foul will go against the Portland Thorns, and Houston would love to add to its lead. 1-0 dash on Jess McDonald's goal in the 24th minute. Her return to Portland after the Thorns traded her on draft day.
I think that wound is still a little fresh, but
yeah, I do too.
I think it's healing a little bit after that one.
Well, athletes use all kinds of things to motivate themselves, and obviously perceived rejection is one of them. Here's Shim. Ayo, look at Masser, just won't let anything come away cleanly. Masser, tag team and Ayo, hand up on the jersey.
It's all over her.
Masser so versatile for Randy Waldrum. Again, basically a forward by trade and playing defense for the first time, but she could be dangerous anywhere on the pitch. She had the 3 goals and 1 assist last year.
She can. I think it says a lot about Randy Waldrum that he can bring these players, put them in different positions. He might, I don't know how much teaching he has to do, but I know he is a very good teacher of the game, and that he's getting these players to play in these off positions successfully.
Boy, that was dangerous. Again, Ojai looking to combine with Jess McDonald, who was crashing in the 6th, but Betos off her line to pluck that out of the air.
She came out well. She looked so comfortable in there. She has no problem, no hesitation, read it well, came out, just making it look easy.
And that was a tough play. That ball and Jess's head kind of coming at the same time.
Always nice when 6 feet of somebody's coming at you, you know.
Spoken like a true keeper.
Easy there.
Well, hey, you were one of the best back in the day, I'll tell you that right now. And you know how difficult that kind of play can be with things getting screened and bodies flying.
Back when we used to play with, I think the ball was made of stone.
Come on now. Come on now. On the counter, here's Ayo. A little too firm on the touch there. The new guacamole burger or chicken sandwich at McDonald's, made with Haas avocado, served with freshly made pico de gallo and a slice of lime. Try it today, paired with your choice of sizzling 100% beef or tender, delicious chicken at participating McDonald's. When I'm looking down and reading that stuff, Janine, if something happens, you just gotta take it.
I know, I start to get hungry when you're talking about that.
No, I mean picking up the pace of calling the game. If I'm reading, you've got to nudge me and say something just happened. That was a long one. 39th minute. The Thorns, as they had to against Washington here at Providence Park, playing catch-up. Jackson back to Menges. Let's see if they'll switch fields again. The point of attack.
Got a little bit of switching going on. Jackson comes out to the outside, Io in the middle. Allie's playing a little bit low in there, and then Zerboni up top was pressing a little bit higher, which is nice. They like to cycle, and they move different positions, and they help each other out. But it seems like they want to connect a little bit more with Allie Long higher up the field.
Boy, it was around the 22nd or 23rd minutes that Portland had some great shots on goal that Henninger was able to save. And then moments later was when Ojai found Jess McDonald for the game's only goal. Henderson able to take control. She's double teamed. Beautiful ball to Ojai. So clever with that ball. Shim dispossesses, nicely done.
Some great 1v1 defending by a number of the Thorns players. Ojai had it, Henderson had it, Ojai had it, but they just didn't get very far. They went laterally, but they didn't get any penetration on it.
Throw in Farley. Houston immediately double teams. They've been doing that on those throw-ins all night long.
They do. They work really well together, and they know that when they collapse on people, causes enough of a turnover that they can, you know, again, obviously get the ball back.
Farley. Just an excellent service. Cutting back nicely. Henninger again. This time with the lower half.
It's a great ball across the box to find Johnson on the outside. I think she's got to pull the trigger just a little bit quicker. She gets in, and it's not that she's doing it slow, but Henninger is so good that you go even faster.
Johnson very active on that far side, getting into the 18. The Portland native really clever once she neared the 6, but Henninger slams the door again.
This could be the part where Io really comes in with what her strengths are. And we've talked about it's not going at speed typical. It's the things that the Americans don't do, or that people, you know, you don't see all the time. And that might just catch Henninger off guard if she does one of those plays.
Here's the corner. Io in the mix, but had no chance to get ahead on that. McDonald camped right in front of Henninger at 6 feet.
Io would have been whopping 5'5".
Yeah, and that's being generous.
Trying to be imposing.
So here's Shim again on the corner for the Thorns. Nice idea by Farley to leave it, but Masser again there to break things up. Throw in for Menges and the Thorns. She's going to try and get it in quickly, and does to Io. And here comes the double. Somehow, someway, gets the cross off. Menges and Zerboni stay with it.
Yeah, Thorns have numbers in the box.
Punched away as the Thorns were really collapsing on Henninger, who wasn't able to make the clean save, but punched it out of danger.
Punched it out and kind of jumped over someone.
Yeah, she got her feet tangled. I couldn't tell quickly if it was friend or foe.
There's a little bit of both. Jackson was up there with one of the dash defenders and just kind of collided with each other and came right down at Henninger's feet.
Io, the target of Houston's defense, no doubt about it. She's been around the ball a lot, but Masser and company so far have been able to keep her from getting into too much of clear space. Long goes deep to Shim. Bach has got her. Mana finds Io at the top of the 18. Zerboni right at Henninger. Just couldn't get pace on the left foot.
She did not have enough strength in that ball to even challenge Henniger. It'd be nice to see the Thorns get a little bit more central in their attack. Paul talked about that. They talked about penetration in the width and centrally. They're hitting a lot of balls low in the field from where it would be the holding mid up to the forwards, but they're not really working the ball through the attacking, well, what we call the attacking mids, and then combining straight up the middle. It'd be nice to see just how those two center backs that may not be very mobile can handle that attack if they just went straight up.
Axon goes down hard and slow to get up. The former Oregon State standout, Rachel Axon.
I remember a chat when Zerboni got hit in much the same way, and I think it was by Axon herself.
So here, late in the 44th minute, Ojai standing over that ball in a dangerous position. Axon got hit really hard in the head. Inadvertent elbow. Here's Ojai.
She looks like she's still shaking it off a little bit down there.
What a ball by Ojai. And coming off her line and diving for it is Betos.
That was well played. Not very threatening for them. They even had Presley up there trying to get in the box, but didn't get much out of it.
Smart play by Long to find Shim, who has a lot of real estate, and here's Farley. Again, that far side has been good to the Thorns.
Just still would have liked to see that turn straight up and go at him. I mean, the width is nice and it's working, but we're not getting very much on it at the end of it. So maybe just trying a little something different might press the dash into giving something up.
Farley got a head on it moments ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official at sidelines indicated there will be a minimum of
1 minute of stoppage time will begin right about now. Let's see if Portland can dial up some magic. As Houston leads this thing 1-0. Menges combining nicely. Alley turning the corner. There's the slide tackle and a rough one, so it will be a corner kick. The crowd wanted a foul. Presley just playing some good D.
Maybe not mobile, but very strong. Little arm to arm in there. I'm going to argue that she came maybe a little bit from behind and not from the side.
That's what they're arguing, all right, but it would behoove the Thorns to get this corner off before stoppage time. Comes and goes. And it's getting close here. They've got to get this ball into play. Shim dangerous.
The ball in. They had enough people in the box this time.
Great idea there. And a beautiful ball with people crashing.
They're still a very patient team, which is nice. You know, the game's in front of them. They're down 1-0, but it's not that they're panicking. They're still trying to do things, and they're trying to be intelligent about what they are trying.
I believe it was Io and Jackson that tried to get ahead on that. And that will do it for the first half. Jess McDonald, the former Portland Thorns, comes into town wearing Houston gear, and her goal in the 24th minute gives the Houston Dash not only their first goal ever against the Portland Thorns, but more critically, the 1-0 lead at halftime here at Providence Park. Our KeyBank halftime show will begin in just a matter of minutes from Providence Park, so stick around. The Thorns trailing 1-0.
Don't do it! Your account balance is $38. How much is that?
It's $40.
40. With an overdraft fee of $35? Is that blouse really worth $75? It doesn't even have sleeves.
We have shirts with sleeves. Don't get charged overdraft fees. Switch to the new KeyBank hassle-free account. It's a checklist account with payment options and no monthly fees.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
Eres un has abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Dad was right. I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made with Hass avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
Hey, sports fans, do you want to get in shape? Text LA Fitness to 50500 for a complimentary guest pass to your local LA Fitness. That's LA Fitness to 50500. Exercise your options.
I'm Liam Ridgewell.
And I'm Allie Long.
And we invite you to join us Portland Timbers and the Thorns to our 4th annual Stand Together week. It runs the 8th of June to the 14th.
You'll have the opportunity to volunteer alongside me and my teammates, all while giving back to our community.
And with over 35 service projects planned, there's something for everyone.
Sign up at timbers.com/standtogetherweek to save your spot.
Together we can give, unite, and inspire.
There's only one way to improve taco night. A practically spill-proof crust. Practically. Spice up dinner with a large home-baked Papa Murphy's Taco Grande. Your choice of ground beef or grilled chicken with a little fiesta flavor. Just $11. Fresh made, fresh baked. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
Welcome to the KeyBank halftime show. The Portland Thorns trailing, visiting Houston 1-0. We're at the break here at Providence Park. Another good crowd on hand, hoping that the Thorns can come back in this one. Jess McDonald with that goal in the 24th minute, the difference maker at this point. You know, when you talk to Paul Riley about his players, he'll go on and on about all of them. But the one player he really gushes about is Sinead Farley, her second year here with the Portland Thorns. And this season, every second of every minute of every match, this midfielder is on the pitch. Sinead Farley, your role this season has increased. It seems like you've embraced that increased role and just having a ball out on the pitch.
I'm honestly loving the season so much, and I knew that it was going to be this way, you know, from the beginning. I think I prepped really well. I stayed here in the off season, and a couple of us were here training, and you know, I feel like when you're not playing in the off season, you're counting down every second, and it took forever. So I feel like once I got here, I was just so excited. Every game is so exciting, and the week, you know what I mean? Every practice is just, I don't know, I haven't lost any enthusiasm, any energy. It's, I don't know, every day I'm just like so excited to be here, and it's an awesome feeling, obviously.
So last year you get the minutes. You seemed comfortable at times. Other times you seemed a little bit off. What's the difference between last year and this year where, to me, the comfort level just, I mean, it just shouts from the rooftops?
Honestly, I'm such a mental person, so I hadn't really like mastered my mind yet. And I think with experience and, you know, just playing in more games and comfortability, obviously this is my second season back. This is my first like club that I've been back for a second season. And I have that kind of like, my heart's here, you know, and especially since I stayed here in the off season, I've been here for a year. I feel like it's the longest I've even lived in a place since I was like a teenager. But yeah, it's just getting my mind right. And I used to get really anxious and stuff before games, and now I'm just like, I love what I do, and I'm so excited about it. And, you know it's like my career, but it's fun, and it's just a game, and that's how I am. I like to play, I like to be smiling, all that stuff, and I feel like I'm in a good place, like in my life and with soccer and that.
And even scoring a goal this year so far. Come on.
That was awesome. I never score, so I'm hoping like to score more.
That was kind of fun, I bet.
I know.
It?
Oh my God! Did you see me a
corner
celebration?
Yes, I
Me
did.
and McCall hugged each other like I was 7 years old.
Speaking of McCall, it was interesting after the game, after the first game. Coach could not get enough in terms of talking about you and McCall Zerboni, and the fact that sometimes the unsung heroes, they don't have to be the ones that score. They control, they distribute, they make sure that everybody is in form and in shape on the pitch. That must have meant the world to you, knowing that, hey, we're making a difference.
Yeah, honestly, like since my first year in the WPS, I loved McCall as a player. I hated playing against her, but I always respected her so much, so I was so excited when she got here. And we just have such a good bond and chemistry, and we love, I don't know, we have confidence in ourselves and each other. And we're like, you take the ball, you do your thing, I got your back. And we don't even have to talk or communicate on the field. We just like kind of know. And I love playing. You know, she's someone that you want to play for, you know, and you see her winning every header. You know, this little tiny girl winning all the headers, and, you know, she pushes me and makes me want to give maximum effort. And I know that goes both ways, and I love playing next to her. I couldn't imagine playing against, like, with anyone else beside me, you know?
So you go to school at Virginia. You end up in Philly playing pro. Obviously, Kansas City wanted you, now here in Portland. When you start adding up the cities, how are you digging the Rose City? Are you enjoying, especially being here in the off season, like you said?
Yeah, I loved being here in the off season. I think that, I mean, I was obsessed with Portland when I came here to play, but obviously during season we don't get to do that much exploring. So in the off season I was going on hikes, going to the beach, mountain, and like I'm obsessed. I love it, and I can't imagine being in another city. Just I need a balance. So obviously the soccer is amazing, best fans, best stadium. But my life outside of soccer is amazing, and that's what I need to be able to perform and be happy. So I'm so happy I'm here, and I want to stay here. You know, I have no plans of getting out of here soon, so which is good for me because I'm usually always on the run looking for something else, but I really like it here.
Our KeyBank halftime report will continue in just a matter of minutes. Janine will join us. We'll break down that first half. Houston leading Portland 1-0. We're at the break. Back in just a minute.
You wake up. Your back hurts. Again. You need a new mattress, but hate shopping for one. Just go to a Park Lane. Crafted in Oregon. Sold only in Park Lane stores at a true minimum price. They'll match the way you sleep to the Park Lane's best for you. Delivered in 2 trucks. The blue one only delivers fresh, just-made Park Lanes. The green one only hauls old mattresses to recycling. Enjoy every night on a Park Lane. Rest well for years to come.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
Eres un has abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Dad was right. I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made with Haas avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
Tire Factory doesn't make tires. They will make you happy by selling top brands like Goodyear, Nokian, and Hankook. So why the name? 30 years ago, over coffee at a Sherry's, 5 tire owners reasoned if they combined their purchases, they could save their customers. Worked then, works now, with over 200 stores in the West. See for yourself. Need tires or service? Trust what you love to Tire Factory, where you'll always have the owner's name on it.
Welcome back to the KeyBank halftime show at Providence Park. The Thorns trailing Houston 1-0. We are at the break. A terrific first half that saw Houston get on the board with that goal in the 24th minute. Ohai and Jess McDonald combining, and shots along with Janine Sparra. All right, let's talk about what went right for the Portland Thorns in that first half. They were close many times. Henninger just wouldn't let anything past her.
Right, so they're playing their formation a little bit better, a little bit more that Paul wanted them to do. They tightened it up. We talked about Allie Long being where she should. Io moved to the outside, so that all went to plan. They started to get into their rhythm a little bit more. It took them a little bit of time, but then you saw through the combinations and you saw some of the chances on goal that Henninger was there to stop.
And if you're the Portland Thorns in the second half, what kind of adjustments do you think you might make, either personnel-wise or formation-wise, if any?
I don't know so much if it's personnel. My preference is to try to attack a little bit more up the gut, basically.
Okay.
They've gone nicely to the outside. They've had chances. It's not that it's not working, but sometimes something different just catches a team in a little bit different rhythm, like that they're off rhythm, so they get the Houston Dash on their heels a little bit, so they have a chance straight at goal.
And let's talk about that terrific job by Houston. They're using their key players very, very well. Henninger in goal, obviously, but then Ojai and McDonald combining on that goal was really special.
It is. I mean, you haven't really seen their midfield too much. We haven't said anything about the Houston Dash midfield, but you're seeing them get the ball up to Ojai, Henderson, McDonald working together, and that ball, she just makes a little juke, plays the ball in, goal.
In fact, we'll show you some of those highlights, including Jess McDonald's goal, when we come back from this break. The Portland Thorns trailing Houston 1-0 here at Providence Park. Back in just a moment.
Rapino sees it, and it's in! Up to Evans, tee it up. Shot on target. What a goal! Thorns looking to cross. In front, the clear! Right at the keeper! Christian puts it away!
Have fun. You will win. And make me very, very happy.
Don't do it! Your account balance is $38. How much is that?
It's $40.
40. With an over of $35? Is that blouse really worth $75? It doesn't even have sleeves.
We have shirts with sleeves.
Don't get charged overdraft fees. Switch to the new KeyBank hassle-free account. It's a checkless account with payment options and no monthly fees.
Early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Say,
Eres un has abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Dad was right. I was ripe for things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made with Hass avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
We're moments away from the second half kickoff between the Thorns and visiting Houston Dash. Houston leading it 1-0 here at the break. A fun first half that saw Jess McDonald score the game's only goal. Let's take a look at some early highlights.
It's a nice little passing combination, hitting the ball up top to Jackson. Nice layoff to Allie Long and a great shot. Bianca's just there.
Henninger made some great saves in that first half, and here's the goal.
Such a great little move by Ojai on the outside, kind of caught Mangus a step behind, able to get the cross off. The McDonald was just in the perfect place. That's a big-time goal right there.
And late in the first half, Portland tried to get the equalizer.
Yeah, Shim hits the ball in top. Jackson gets her head on it, but just couldn't get over the ball. She got a little underneath it, and it went out.
So McDonald's goal, her fourth of the year, is the game's only tally at this point, as Betos calls everybody over wearing Thorns gear for that last minute, we got to come back and get this thing. So an uphill climb here at home as the Houston Dash lead this thing 1-0. First goal they've ever scored against the Portland Thorns comes from a former Portland Thorn.
The nice thing, though, the Thorns are a tight group. Like we said, you know, they're a little bit beat up. They're facing some things, and now they're a goal down. But they have that, you know, close-knit bond that they work so well together that's not going to let much affect them.
So the Thorns will head towards the Riveters, see if that can coax a goal.
Gotten everybody on the line except for their back three.
Here we go, second half underway. The Portland Thorns and Houston Dash presented by Powerade. Cutting back nicely. Boy, the cross timing was just off.
Ball across the box.
Yep.
The Thorns tried to put everybody up on the line for the kickoff and didn't quite establish possession, which left Henderson and Ojai on the outsides in that 2 versus 3.
Henderson has been very active for Randy Waldrum as well.
Yeah, she played in the midfield in the last week. You know, he's gone from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-2, and now back really to a 4-3-3. But Henderson will drop in and play back in that midfield spot sometimes.
Menges leaving it for long, and the up the middle rhythm that Janine was looking for is what Portland has shown so far. Here's Zerboni.
Oh, just one touch away from getting past that last defender.
Clever play by Farley, and on the near side, it'll be reserve Alyssa Kleiner. Both she and Sarah Jackson, some reserve players for the Thorns, have done a nice job. Farley catches up to it. Good job by Houston to dispossess as Johnson got in that 18 but then lost it. McDonald tag teamed. Here's Farley. She'll get it right back as the ball caroms off a couple of Houston players. She'll let it go out of bounds. And a quick throw into Alley.
Yeah, they do a good job of trying to find Jackson in there, but she's got 3 defenders around her. So, again, they're needing to find some different kind of ball or some different way in.
Henniger made some brilliant saves against both Jackson and Johnson. And then moments later is when Jess McDonald found the back of the net on the perfect service from Ojai. That was in the 24th minute, and that's where we are. We're early in the second half. Here's Masser.
Still looking comfortable, comes out at halftime. She's done a great job in the first half against Io, so she doesn't look like she's threatened or has any trouble with her at all right now.
Io's been double teamed this entire match, especially in tight spaces when a Houston defender can come and help the primary defender and dispossess if possible.
Yeah, they've had the numbers back, so they're really good at helping each other out and working back to the ball and reestablishing possession. So it's not that the Thorns have had open opportunities and had the run of play up there.
Here's Io. Try to get it through to Jackson. Houston tries to clear, but here's Portland again.
LaPont, we haven't said anything about her, for the Houston Dash. She's done a great job for them. She's had a few things here and there to face against Kendall Johnson, but for the most part, she's just been solid on the outside.
Oh, unlucky there as Jackson mistimed that little skip and lost it. So Kleiner will retreat and send it back to Betos. Hey folks, Alaska Airlines offers food and beverages from iconic Northwest brands. Learn more at alaskaair.com/beyond. It's going to be critical for the Thorns not to get into a direct style of play as they play catch up against this Houston club. Here's Io carrying.
Well, Paul talked about the layers of the game and all the different things that you have to do inside the game, and that's what they need to pull out, is figure out which key, which door, what unlocks the chance for them to get the tying goal.
Farley, a little too aggressive with that touch, but Io gets it right back, tries to scoop it, and then wisely leaves it for Zerboni as the whistle blows. And Masser is down. And very slow to get up.
Looks like that cast may have gotten a little bit retaped or something at halftime. I wonder if she's having a little trouble with that, or she took one somewhere else.
Well, Masser, if I'm not mistaken, has suffered a handful of broken noses. And she's holding that nose right now, people. Let me tell you that right now. And I'm not kidding you. 5 broken noses.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So you might want to start leading with something else. Maybe put that hand up a little sooner.
Man, she is a gamer. I'll tell you that right now. And I think she got hit right in the snoot again, and no wonder she was slow getting up.
Again, she hasn't skipped a beat.
Nope. And she's had the difficult task of marking Io and has done a really good job with the help of some of her friends, but has done a lot of 1v1 defending. Nice job of Io to keep it in bounds. They'll say it was out.
They've got a lot of space on the other side. They're just not seeing it. Seems like they're forcing it just a little bit. You've got Farley sitting in that kind of holding mid, and they're pressing that right side right now. Had they come back out and swung around, they might have had a little better chance.
52nd minute here at Providence Park. The hometown Thorns trailing Houston 1-0 on Jess McDonald's goal in the 24th minute. A laser header. And Betos really had no chance. It was perfect. Kleiner, as Henderson was bearing down, gets rid of it. And from the midfield, here's Kat looking to carry. She's got room.
She's got room, but she's got the attacking mids kind of running away from her and no one lower in the space.
Long's touch is a little heavy. And here's Ojai.
Kat Williamson did a nice job doing enough to kind of slow her down so that Kleiner could slide over and then provide a little cover for her. So defensively, that's a good solid play by the Thorns.
Here's LaPont, who's getting a ton of minutes. One of the reserve, amateur, whatever you want to call them, call-ups, earning her keep in a big way. And what a great moment for these reserve players as coaches are watching, not just the coaches they're playing for.
That's her second really solid game. I mean, she's in there and doing a great job against some top players, so she's not suffering much from having the player in there.
Here's Menges carrying on that far side, finding Allie in the middle. Jackson losing it. Miss hit there without a doubt.
Presley's going to want that one back a little bit.
Yeah.
Hit behind the play and out of bounds.
But Portland gives it right back. Henderson reaches, collects. And here comes Houston. Boy, what a nice job by Kleiner in a foot race with McDonald. Now Houston will keep possession, but a nice play by Kleiner.
It was nice to see her have a little bit of an edge to her playing against McDonald's, not backing down, not saying, hey, I'm scared and I know how good you are. She's like, yeah, I'm playing you toe to toe.
Kleiner showing some speed there, that's for sure. As McDonald will let that ball bounce off of Thorns and out of bounds. Here in the 54th minute. Beautiful ball. Look at Henderson. Right off of Thorns' face.
Boney took that one to the face, was right there, as she always is.
Now keep in mind that this is the same Houston bunch that led Chicago 2-0 in the second half before Huerta for the Red Stars scored consecutive goals and Chicago caught them. Kendall, right at Henninger.
That's a nice little piece that Allie Long did, just let the ball go through. She knows Johnson's on the outside. She knows she's going to be there for it. So that's nice to see a little bit of difference from the Thorns. Unfortunately, Johnson just, I don't think, quite hit that where she wanted to put it.
And it was right at Henninger as well, to your point, yeah. And here's Kendall Johnson again. Beautiful ball. Io had an eye on it, but Masser got a boot on it. But still, this will result in a play that maybe off a set piece could result in the equalizer. Let's see, another corner.
Tell you, it's so good to see Kendall Johnson coming into her own. I've always respected her. I've always liked her as a player ever since I saw her play for youth around here in the Portland area. In her first couple of games, I was just surprised that some of her services weren't as quality as I know she can do. And so it's great to see her finally hitting her stride. She's working into it, and nice early balls into Jackson to try to get the Thorns a goal.
Line drive. Boy, climbing the ladder there was Farley. But her header was wide, and you know, back to a great point you make by Kendall Johnson. She is definitely finding a home on this pitch with the Thorns and the position that she's been asked to play. You know, the Thorns went out and got her, acquired from Sky Blue for a draft pick, and she's really starting to find her own.
Yeah, she is. I mean, it's just the perfect spot for her, like you said. It's one of the things she does the best. I mean, she was a forward, became a great defender, and then she's kind of back in that position where she's high up the field with less defensive responsibilities and more attacking.
A bit of a mix-up there as the Thorns thought it was theirs, but the referees are saying this ball belongs to Houston, as the
might have been some disagreement.
Yeah. 57th minute here. The Thorns trailing 1-0. Houston has never scored against Portland, never beaten Portland, but right now the Thorns are trailing this Houston club 1-0. And Kansas City has tied Chicago in the 70th minute. It's 1-1. The Flash upsetting the Washington Spirit earlier today. Corner for Henderson. And the dash. Beautiful ball. Nice job by Betos. Again, McDonald coming right down the pipe.
Betos just controls her 6 really well. Again, still just as comfortable in the beginning of the game. She has no problems coming out. Not too much pressure. She's just feeling solid and comfortable where she is.
Johnson sends it back to Kleiner.
You can see Houston dropping in a little bit, maybe not trying to pick up her press until the center circle. Getting a little tighter in the back and then centrally.
Yep. Dummy run there, Zerboni trying to flag it down as Privet will knock it out of bounds. A throw in for Portland. Double team there, Farley. Oh my goodness, Lana Shim got her head on that ball, near post. And again, a read by Henninger.
She just gets up in the air, stays there for a minute, sees the ball coming, catches it, and then comes down with it. She is such a good goalkeeper.
What a great ball by Farley.
Is it great? They're trying to find those early balls in, which is nice. They're not waiting and they're not doing too much with it, or trying to manufacture a lot. They're like, find the player gets in, finds Mana Shim, and she does. She gets a good quality head on it, but they've got to find the right ball to beat this keeper.
Masser almost gives it away. A dangerous pass right there, but the dash doing a nice job of controlling. Zerboni really putting the heat on. And this is a controlled dash club at this point. There's a mishit.
Yeah, it's almost the 60th minute, and the Thorns might have to start to press the game a little bit. You see some people kind of going and adding that pressure in, but they might have to send a little bit more numbers up and get them to cause those turnovers, or to try to win the ball a little bit higher up the field.
Houston has done a really good job of grabbing early leads, but not able to sustain them. They led Sky Blue, but had to settle for the 1-1 tie. They led Boston, lost 3-2. They led Chicago 2-0, settled for the 2-2 tie. So this is a Houston bunch that on occasion will not hold on to a lead, and Portland obviously needs to have that in mind and keep the pressure on.
Well, they have a little experience in that too, and that there's those 2 games that they came back from. So So again, they're not a panicky team. They're not a team that's going to go out and just figure like they can't do it. They've got that confidence. They've got a good track record. They just kind of have to keep going at it, and again, look for those different things that are going to unlock the defense and allow them to get that tying goal.
As the clock continues to tick in Houston's favor here in the 61st minute. Zerboni denied. Here comes Houston on the counter. Boy, McCall just all over the pitch.
She creates a lot, Zerboni. She works hard, gets back, gets the ball. She's a great piece for the Thorns.
Zerboni in her first year with the Portland Thorns, acquired from the Flash, that trade that let Brooks go. Great get for the Portland Thorns, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you can see Alyssa Kleiner there just had a nice little read on McDonald's non-touch, trying to do the same thing that Allie was doing on the other end. She was right there. That's solid defending from the youngster.
The reserves have done a nice job for Paul Riley and the Thorns. Sarah Jackson and Alyssa Kleiner.
They have. Again, they're well prepared. You know, they train well. The team works well together. They're brought in. They've been together for a long time, so they do know each other, and they're pretty solid, and they go at it every day. It gives them a good chance when they come in to feel that comfort and know what's going to happen.
Here's Axon. Both of these clubs enjoying some really standout efforts from their reserves, as these two teams, both lineups decimated by call-ups for the World Cup that's coming up.
See, Henderson is still, like, she's playing lower. She's consistently been a little bit lower on the field, kind of dropping in more to the 4-4-2 back for the Houston Dash.
Just out of Long's reach, who made the nice run. I look down on the pitch and see number 29, Kelsey Haycock, the rookie out of LaSalle, who's waiting to come in, another one of Portland's reserves.
She's such a great story. Paul always talks about her in practice, and you're kind of a little bit unsuspecting. You don't really see much, and then she just has a nose for the goal. So let's see if this is one of those. Hey, let's find the player today that's going to go in and make the difference and find the goal.
There's Masser. We haven't called Io's name a lot this second half.
Not too much. I mean, she's faced so much from Masser that, you know, she's doing a good, solid job, but there's not much space and room to do anything with the pressure that Masser's put on her.
So the substitution for the Portland Thorns here in the 64th minute, as Sarah Jackson would come off the pitch. She had a really good effort, and Kelsey Haycock, no, she didn't go to Santa Clara. She went to LaSalle.
You mean they let people on the field that don't go to Santa Clara?
There's been a bunch of Broncos playing tonight. That is for sure.
I'm going to give a West Coast shout out to West Coast soccer.
A bunch of them represented tonight. So the Portland Thorns misread that play, as it is going to result in a Thorns corner. I think the Thorns thought it went off of Io. So here's Shim again. She and Allie have been kind of playing cat and mouse with the corners, and sometimes going with that short corner. Allie standing over it here, and Shim starting to trot over towards the top of the box. Ooh. So Io and Henninger tangled a little bit, and it looked to me like Henninger kind of gave Io a shove.
It's a battle of the 5'6" and 5'5" player.
Yeah.
Henninger is listed as 5'6" in the media guide, which means she's probably about 5'4.5".
Beautiful ball! Oh, what a play! And on the top of the net, no goal. I can't tell if that was Masser or who that defensively saved the day for the Houston club. It might have been Cross. Let's see. It was Masser.
Master, there again, not giving anybody that she's defending any kind of room to work.
What a play by Masser, and almost got hit in the face again. The Thorns trying to keep the heat on Houston and get that equalizer. Menges almost lost it. Beautiful touch by Ayo, just a little heavy, and Zerboni couldn't catch up. Boy, and it's a great point you make about Henninger. One of the shorter keepers. You know, Beto stands at 5'9", and Henninger is a 5'5" kind of a keeper. And you go stand in front of that goal when you're 5'5". It feels like you're out in the middle of an ocean.
Yeah, but, you know, she's used to it. It's what you do with it, right? She's got a great vertical. She can cover the ground. She positions herself well. I mean, we overemphasize that, I think, especially here. And what I've seen in the youth game, and people's immediate reaction is, oh, look, she's really tall. Let's put her in goal. And, you know, they don't think about not being able to cover low, not being able to move across the goal. And Henninger is a great example of that.
I love how Henninger stays home and doesn't react until the last possible second. She doesn't commit too quickly.
She does her job, and she lets, the important thing too, and that sometimes younger keepers don't do, is let the defenders do their job first. And I always tell them, you know, remember, if you leave, there is no goalkeeper. Let your defenders do their job, and when they can't anymore, that's when you come out and help them out.
Haycock leaving it for Zerboni. Nicely done to find Shimon. She's going to carry. Ojai disrupts.
See Ali Long pressing a little bit more up the field. Her and Haycock pretty close together.
Mana did a nice job. Lost it. Didn't hang her head. Got it right back. Here's Ayo looking for somebody to pass to. Long, beautiful inside. Haycock post. Poked away.
It's a great header by Menges not to let McDonald get through on that ball.
It's good D by Cross, too. Beautiful job by Kendall, sending it in. Shim will control. Ayo just wide.
She's good. I mean, Ayo's willing to get up in there in the crowd. She had, again, at least 3 defenders around her.
Oh, she's in the mix. I mean, at 5'4", she is in the mix.
Yeah, and Presley and Cross are not small players, not short players, or I mean, they've got good size on her too. And she has no fear. She's up in there and she's actively trying to get that ball.
She's tough. She's got some hops. She can take some blows to the body and still be a threat inside, especially nearing the 6.
Seems like Thorns have a little bit of momentum on their side now. See if they can capitalize on it. I think if Mana Shim drops in a little bit more, kind of utilize her and try to get her to work the ball, they can get a few more opportunities.
Boy, there's the trip right there. And Ellie comes up wanting the yellow card.
She's pleading her case.
Well, yeah, and I don't blame her.
Pleading her case that Cross is, again, doing something wrong, multiple infractions, and asking for something.
Remember when those two tangled in the 18 before and nothing was called?
There's
both of those players.
Yeah, she kind of pulled her down in that early play, first half. So I think she's, you know, Ali Long's trying to say, hey, look, she's a repeat offender. Can you have a word, sir?
So Ali continuing to plead her case to Matthew Kreitzer. But let's see if Portland can do something with this free kick nearing the 69th minute, 70th minute, I should say.
Well, that's one of the best 10-yard spaces I've seen paced off.
We'll take it, huh?
Yeah, we'll take it.
All right, so here's Long. Portland looking for the equalizer. Standing over the ball. Houston setting up defensively. Henninger barking out orders. Shim releasing.
Little surprised the soft chip shot in Henninger and what she's done so far.
Well, maybe they're trying to get over that 5'4" frame.
Well, again, you know, she's been positioned well, and she can jump well. It's not something you have to beat her in something either really fast that she can't get to, or some kind of redirection play.
Bach goes high with the boots there, and Henderson controls some nice combination passing by Houston. Long with the infraction there. The new guacamole burger or chicken sandwich at McDonald's, made with Hass avocados, served with freshly made pico de gallo and a slice of lime. Try it today, paired with your choice of sizzling 100% beef or tender, delicious chicken at participating McDonald's. Everybody trying to get ahead on that. Io able to clear. Kelsey holding off the defender, and Portland wanting to get some kind of counter going. Io's touch a little firm. Tonight's attendance, 14,409. Another great turnout by the Portland Thorns fans. Man, they just continue to come out and support. Unbelievable. 14,000 plus.
Yeah, I'm glad those games got her. There's a huge youth tournament in town, the Friendship Cup. And I think everybody got here finally after some of their games had ended.
Io. Here's Mana. Right at Henninger. Just didn't have enough with that left foot as she was falling as she struck it.
Yeah, unlucky. It was unfortunate that Haycock couldn't quite get something on it. She was there in front of Henninger, but she tried a little bit, but the ball was a little too quick for her to redirect. And that's the kind of ball that really would have challenged Henninger, had she been able to just change the pace or the speed, the direction of the ball a little bit.
Boy, and you wonder if Mana wasn't falling as she struck the ball, how much more she could have gotten on that shot. Interesting ball. My goodness. As LaPont from distance.
She does get up the line. She did last week in their game. She had quite a few more serves, and we haven't seen her really do that in this game. She hasn't had the chance, but it would be surprising if she was able to try that a little bit more.
Nice job by Haycock to keep the ball in Portland's end. Kleiner with the sliding tackle, but right to the Houston bunch. And there's Cross holding off folks, and here comes Axon. Beautiful ball to Masser. Masser goes down, plays on, and Io comes up with it.
It's nice to see Io's work rate. You know, she's in there, she's an attacking player, but she's working hard on both ends of the ball, and that's what you want. You don't want to play a 10 versus 11 game. You want that player to do her job, and she is, and it's so good to see.
Io played those 68 minutes in the loss against Boston last weekend on the road. And obviously here we are in the 74th minute, and she still looks pretty darn fresh.
Yeah, she's got great experience. Played in the German league.
Yeah.
Has played in UEFA games, UEFA league and championship games. So she's got a great pedigree behind her.
One of the top 10 goal scorers in Bundesliga history, and that says something right there.
And that's a good, solid lead.
You bet. 74th minute. Houston leading 1-0 here at Providence Park on Jess McDonald's goal in the 24th minute of that opening half. Portland has had some chances. Henninger has not let anything past her at this point. Well, you just see how clever Farley is, so composed with that ball.
Game has really opened up. If you look, you can see there's a lot of space on the field. It'd be nice if we're just our attacking mids are able to just find that ball and work together a little bit more to combine to kind of get around that Houston defense.
So newly acquired Ellie Brush is waiting to check in for the Houston Dash. Recently signed. The Australian will make her debut for Randy Waldrum in the Dash when she gets a moment. And Taylor Camo is also looking to check in for the Portland Thorns. Allie Long trying to make a run. Just unlucky there. Henderson composed as well. Jackson's got some room. Chicago going back on top of their match against Kansas City. 2-1 in the 89th minute. Chicago atop the table, and they look for 3 more points, give themselves a little distance as the Spirit lost today. And Houston knows, Janine, that if they can hang on and beat Portland, that the Thorns with their 8 points will be joined by Houston, who would have 8 points. Yes.
Yeah. So the race was pretty tight, kind of got looser, and parts of it are getting tight again.
So Henderson off. Ellie Brush, welcome to the NWSL, is on for Houston. Henderson had a good match.
She did. She got involved, and she helped spread out the defense a little bit. With her, McDonald, Ohio up top to get that third high player. But Brush is a defender, so now they're having that 1-0 lead and trying to keep it and trying to maybe go a little bit more defensive.
So Io getting a nice hand as she'll check out here in the 77th minute. Taylor Camo, another reserve, will come in. A nice job by Io.
Very nice job. Yeah. She adds that nice piece. Like I said, she plays well both ends of the field. She's willing to work hard. I don't know that we got to see her do quite as much as she wants to do with that creativity that she's got. But I think, it'll just keep getting better. She is a good piece for that front line and for getting that attack going forward and getting a little something different.
So Taylor Camo, who was really a stud for Cal, comes on. Another reserve player for the Portland Thorns. Has a big motor. Maybe she can make some magic happen, but here's Allie Long. Little scoop. Unlucky there as Kendall Johnson couldn't control. Goals have been hard to come by for the Portland Thorns the last 2 matches. Shut out 1-0 at Boston, and being shut out by that same score here in the 78th minute against Houston.
Really being shut out by Bianca Henniger, I think, in that first half. They had their best chances in there and a number of shots that really could have gone in easily without a keeper that was, at her best in that right positioning. So.
And Houston making good on some rare shots on goal with that perfect service
that was
from
just
Ohio to McDonald.
Yeah, such quality.
And that's the only goal of the game so far. Lots of time left, though, here in the 79th minute. That goal will be talked about big time as Masser takes it away. Ohio. Nice job. Just a good job by Betos, realizing that Ohio's got some good foot speed.
Yeah, very solid coming out again. She's done a great job.
She has.
No worries in the back with her there.
Both teams missing their frontline keepers with national team call-ups, and boy, not missing a beat.
Speaks to the depth of the league.
Johnson is going to send one right there, but there's Cross again in the right place at the right time, and Masser doing more dirty work. Nice job by Zerboni. Slide tackling that thing right to Mangus.
They're a good, hard-working bunch, the Houston Dash.
Look at Masser. Oh, what a great play. Ella, that was awesome.
She's not stopping for anyone. She's going to see this game through.
Are you kidding me? That was just a great play.
She's going to have to be casted the rest of her body after this one.
Just a full gainer to head that thing out of trouble, but it results in a corner kick. The Thorns have been close in a couple of these set pieces. Here's Allie Long.
Yeah, you got Haycook and Camo in there now.
Ball deflects and stays in the offensive third. Cat trying to do something with it. Physical inside that 18.
That's a great quick shot from Kumo.
Kumo had a notion, didn't she?
She just cleaned it, whacked it.
I think that's Cat down on the turf.
Yeah. There's a bit of a commotion in there with bodies kind of flying around and balls getting served in, coming out, getting back in again.
It's been a very, very physical match, without a doubt. And Cat Williamson, one of the tougher players on this Thorns club, is still down.
I think she took a knee or something to the thigh.
Yeah, she was holding that IT band area, I believe, on her right outside quad thigh. And she is in some pain. We're not going to guess what it is in particular, but we do know that requiring some attention, and she'll slowly walk off the pitch.
Just come off, have a little chance to shake it off, and then get back in. She looks okay. Maybe got a little bit of a dead leg. You get hit in the wrong spot, and it just kind of, you can't feel it for a minute or so, but then hopefully she'll be able to be fine.
So Kansas City and Chicago in stoppage time right now. Chicago trying to hold on to the 2-1 victory over Kansas City after a game that was delayed for a long time in KC with that lousy weather back in the Midwest. And Cat comes back on. It's going to hurt a bunch tomorrow, but she's ready to go. '83rd minute here. We know there'll be some stoppage time, to be sure. Bach does a nice job of stripping Zerboni. McCall not quitting, but Bach able to keep possession.
Looks like we have Presley on the outside, cross in the middle.
And here's Ojai in the 18. Sliding at the last second. Masser tried on the perfect pass. Another nifty ball from Ojai, but Masser wasn't able to get her foot on it. And the Thorns defender disrupting that play.
Yeah, that's going to be something they're going to have to pay attention to with the kind of swapping backs. The insertion of putting Brush into the middle, Presley on the out, Cross still in the center, LePont on the other side, and then Masser up higher. So now that 4-4-2 has Masser on the outside.
Sliding tackle to deny Houston. A goal there by the Dash would have effectively put this thing to bed. And you got to be impressed by how Houston has been able to, for the most part, maintain some possession, keep the possession passing game with some flow.
Right, well, they were another well-prepared team. They've got a very good coach with great soccer history. He's done a great job and done so much for the sport that he's really going to have his team, you know, taken care of. And like Paul said, they tend to adjust to the team they're playing, and that's what he's done with his formation.
Come on! Randy Waldron, yep, what a history he had with Notre Dame. 2 national championships at Notre Dame, and then surprised a lot of folks by taking the job with the Houston Dash as the expansion club in the NWSL.
Yeah, really good jobs are hard to come by, and there's a lot of college jobs, but once you get in and you're settled, they're nice to hold on to. And most people thought it was surprising that Randy Waldron was going to take this job, but you know, some people really enjoy the challenge in a professional league. That's a way to challenge yourself in your career.
Jess McDonald trying to out-sprint the Thorns, but she kind of got tag team and will go the other way. A deep ball by Farley. Didn't work, and here's Ojai, who's very good with the ball, keeping it in possession.
Another great defensive play by Maynard.
There's Farley.
Yeah.
Was that Menges on that play or Farley?
Sorry, I think you're right. I think it is Farley.
Either one of them, though, they were in their right position.
Yeah, the Thorns 1v1 defending has been really good.
Man, you can't do anything about that. Oh, there's the yellow.
Some people might think it's a little too little, a little too late on Presley.
So Presley didn't like the call, but she gets the yellow. 86th minute.
Yellow card issued to Houston, number 5, Tony Presley. Presley getting the caution card for Houston.
Thorns looking to play a little bit up higher inside Houston's half of the field.
Nice ball, Kleiner to Long. The chip. Ooh.
Good Presley. She's got to do a little bit better job to get it in the play on that one. It's hard to get around on the end line, but she's a good enough player that she could do a little bit more with that ball.
'87th minute here at Providence Park, over 14,000 in attendance. Not a ton to cheer for as Houston took that goal in the 24th minute by Jess McDonald, the former Thorns, and it has stuck. And the clock is not Portland's friend right now. Look at Masser again.
That young woman is everywhere. So fortunately, they're not using Kumo very much. They've inserted her in the game. She is a little bit wide, playing almost the same place that Ayo was playing on the outside. And they're just not finding her using those fresh legs that they have.
Even when Masser miss hits, she's still able to make something happen. If this score holds, to me, she and Bianca Henniger have been the players of the game, despite that spectacular assist and goal from Ojai to McDonald.
Yeah, definitely. Those two have kept him in the game. I mean, you have to score to win, but you have to deny the chances to not get scored on. So they've done such a solid job, both of them have. And in the back of the line, the center backs as well, LaPont, you know, have done a great job working together, shutting it down, but definitely Masser's been the hardest working player.
Pretty impressive, pretty darn impressive. As the clock marches on, foul going against the Portland Thorns. The deep ball, punched and still alive and cleared. Again, aggressively, Betos off her line. Tried to clear that thing and got some help from a friend.
Masser finding herself in the middle of the mix.
McDonald sticks with it. A composed Houston club, a club that has given up leads many, many times in this young season and has never beaten the Portland Thorns. 0 for 3 last season. And they're looking at what they would look at as a huge victory. As Jordan Jackson will check in now for Privet.
Yeah, Kemi Privet's doing a solid job, but you haven't seen very much out of it. It's an interesting changing your midfield for Jackson, but again, you know, maybe just solidifying those lines a little bit. They've put Brush in the back. They're trying to give themselves a little bit, I think, a little bit more energy, a little bit more chance to kind of finish out the game.
Boy, it's hurry up time for the Thorns now. 90th minute. There's probably going to be a minute or two of stoppage time. Who knows? But it's desperation time now for the Thorns. No doubt about it. So it is a final from Kansas City. Chicago defeating the Blues by the score of 2-1 to gain 3 more invaluable points with the World Cup and the break coming up. So we'll wait to hear what stoppage time is put on the board. 4 minutes. That's an eternity. We saw what happened in stoppage time to the Thorns last week against Boston. You just need that one chance, that one little chance.
One quick counter.
Yep.
That's basically what Houston did. You get the ball up there, quick ball in, quick header, a little redirection, kind of catch Henniger off, and, you know, you got the tie.
Controlling the ball is going to be critical, though, for the Thorns. They're chasing the game now, and McDonald just dumps it off. What do you look for the Thorns to do here?
You know, there's just got to be a little bit better sense of urgency. I mean, I like that we're coming out and Betos gives the ball to Mangus on the out, but it's just too slow getting up. There's really not that much time.
Farley leaves it for long. Here's Farley. Farley! Initially, the crowd thought that had found the back of the net, but it hit the side of the net. Farley so close.
I think they wanted that one pretty bad. She got in, couldn't quite get around it, and just, you know, had a kind of a bad angle by the time she caught up with the ball.
Waldron wants to go to his bench again as Tiffany McCarty awaits. And trotting off is Ella Masser, who was outstanding tonight. Absolutely outstanding.
Well-deserved rest for her, and then maybe taking a little bit of time just to make the change. Randy Waldron trying to get some fresh people in. But also, you know, trying to work out the clock.
You bet. Are you kidding? No kidding. Farley did a really nice job of penetrating that dash defense right outside the 6. She loves to talk about the fact that she scored a goal. She was close that time, too. Unfortunate there as Kleiner gives it up. You cannot do that in this position.
It's going to have a little bit more support from that Thorns midfield to try to get the ball.
McDonald. Yeah, you're right. She really had nowhere to go, and you could tell at the last second she thought, I just got to clear it.
Yeah, I mean, she took a little too long initially on the ball, and maybe got a little lucky that McDonald didn't press harder, but then had to hit it because they're not finding their midfield. They're not working through it.
LaPont leaves it for McDonald in space. It'll be throw-in for Houston. Playing that smartly is McDonald. And if this score stands, you know she is going to be tickled to death, as she was traded by the Thorns and right now has the game's only goal. Houston will just control it as best they can.
I tell you, nothing speaks louder than the actions on the field. You can be mad, you can talk about things, but you go out there and you do it, and that's, like you said, you know, that's what her point is.
Camo able to keep it in play and wants to push. Nice job by Taylor Camo. So we're deep into this 4 minutes of stoppage time. The Thorns have to really hurry, and I'm not sure if they understand the sense of urgency.
Michelle Betos coming up inside the box. A little keeper v. keeper. This is what we want to see. This is it.
Look at Betos standing right next to Henniger. Portland has got to hurry. My stopwatch has 3:50 right now and counting. This is it. Kendall's going to have to crack it. And that's going to do it, folks. There's no doubt about it, unless I didn't start my watch right.
There's one long 120-yard sprint right there.
All right, I'm at 4:10 on my stopwatch.
That's got to be, Kendall Johnson's got to get a little bit better ball on that. She's got to do a little bit more with it.
And that's it. As the Houston Thorns knock off the Portland Thorns, excuse me, the Houston Dash knock off the Portland Thorns 1-0. McDonald's goal in the 24th minute stands up, and that's the final.
That is. You know, they had those shots early, denied by Henniger. They had a hard-working Masser to kind of keep them out. Presley and Cross didn't have to face too much. LePont 1v1 with Kendall Johnson. Johnson got some good crosses off, and Thorns weren't able to get on the end of it to really do much with it. There's just, again, there's not that sense of urgency, especially at the end. It's a hard line to draw when you have the comfort and the confidence to play your game the entire game, but realize that something else has to be done. It's not working. Again, you're not finding the keys to unlock the doors that you need to do. You know, those different layers that Paul talks about. It was kind of the same type of thing, the same type of ball, and you know, you've got to find what works. And if it's not working, you know, you've got to try something different.
So for the second straight game, the Portland Thorns are shut out. It's certainly not panic time, but what must change? What needs to change?
Yeah, well, I mean, they had chances. It's not as if they were in their half the entire game. You know, they really had a chance. They got up. They attacked. Like you said, you know, they got denied by Henniger, but they also got some, you know, way better crosses or serves in from Kendall Johnson. You know, maybe Io's still trying to find her feet a little bit with her, trying to get a little higher up the field to get the kind of ball that she wants to do. I think, you know, Paul talked about that. He tried to put her in the middle, but maybe, you know, it's just a little time for her.
So we'll look at some highlights from tonight's match. A 1-0 victory for the Houston Dash. Portland trying to get on the board early.
Again, that's a ball from Mangus into Jackson and then back again to Allie Long. A good solid shot, but Henniger's there.
And the game's only goal right here.
It's just a great ball by Ojai. I mean, she kind of like not trips up Mangus, but she has such a quick step that Mangus is a step behind, which allows that ball to get off. The perfect run, great timing from two teammates who look like they're playing very well together.
Here's one of the last plays of the first half.
Great ball in by Monashim. Jackson able to get a head on it, but not able to get a head over it. And Monashim again, and then Henniger just kind of, as we say, you know, gets up, stays there, and then brings it down.
Here's Mana again. No pace on that shot as she was falling with the left foot.
Right. She was able to reach for it, but not get any power on it.
Farley late in the match.
Yeah, she took a step, got a little too far outside, didn't have much of the angle left on it, and then just did the best she could.
So over 14,000 on hand, but the Houston Dash picks up their first victory over the Portland Thorns in 4 matches, winning this one 1-0. Our next home match is Friday, June 19th. The Thorns hosting a dangerous FC Kansas City team. It's a 7 p.m. start right here at Providence Park, and you can get your tickets at thornsfc.com. So that's a wrap from Providence Park. Thorns losing to Houston 1-0 in front of over 14,000. Tough 2-game road trip awaits the Thorns before returning home for that huge match that we just talked about against FC Kansas City on June 19th. On behalf of Janine, I'm Ann Schatz saying thanks so much for joining us tonight, and have a great holiday weekend, everybody.